What's different is like I want to move forward, be a good friend to Jess and a housemate. Don't go backwards anymore.
Welcome to Chorus Voices, the podcast brought to you by Chorus, a fresh approach to community service. Settle in, listen in, and enjoy the voices who bring you reflections, musings, and stories from our community.
Hello everybody and welcome to this edition of Chorus Voices. I'm CEO Dan Minchin.
I'm Head of Brand and People Lou Forster.
And Lou, today we're hearing a fabulous story about a young woman who's found a really great living setup which has been quite transformational in her life.
It has, and I think there's nothing more important than being having a home. You know, it's not a house, it's a home, and this story I think really speaks to that.
So we're going to hear from Krystyna, who lives with disability and has gone on quite a long journey, I guess, to find this arrangement. Which what we'll hear is that it's sort of the right mix of support, but also independence, which has been difficult for her to get that balance.
And she's grew up with her mum Caroline and has lived for some period, you know, with her in the granny flat, and so it sounds like it's been over a decade of a journey to find, you know, this arrangement that seems to be working really well for everybody. And
Angela from Chorus has worked with Krystyna and Caroline to get this solution in place. So as part of the story today, we'll hear from Angela and Krystyna, a little bit from Caroline, and maybe even from Krystyna's housemate and friend Jess.
Krystyna, we just come into your beautiful little house here. Do you like living here?
Yes, I'm more relaxed, more happier.
Looks like you've really moved in.
Yes.
Yeah, that's very homey. And do you live here on your own?
No, I'm actually sharing a home with Jess. So we're trying to work out a routine of it all. I'm doing cooking and keeping the house nice and clean and tidy.
So it sounds like you're doing all that yourself.
Yes.
Yeah. You pay and you pay your bills and do all that yourself.
Yes.
Is that good?
Yes, and it's helping me out.
So the independent or individualised living option is a NDIS package that participants can request or get funded for to ensure that they are able to live independently and have the right supports to live independently in the home. So it's different to supported independent living, which is kind of like a group home setting where a lot of freedoms and independence is taken away.
So in the group one, it's kind of owned by somebody else pays the bills, that kind of thing. Whereas so here, it's a private lease.
Yeah, so traditionally, when you talk about group homes or what's called a SIL package, the provider generally owns the home or rents the home out and takes a portion of somebody's pension, for example, about 75%. So the financial freedoms are sort of, and independence is taken away. The furniture and the appliances, etc., all in the home generally also belong to the provider, and it's just there's not a lot of room for building capacity or any kind of independent living for the people living in the home, the residents. So yeah, we moved away from that option. Krystyna had a goal of wanting to live on her own. She had tried that just about a year ago. She was living on her own, but it didn't quite work out, so she moved back in with mum. So to achieve that goal, we looked at an ILO package. So we explored who she wanted to live with, where she wanted to live, what kind of home, what kind of support she'd need to be able to do that. And then we applied for an ILO package with NDIS, and that was approved. And we found a housemate that Krystyna really likes, and Krystyna actually knew her already. You were both looking for the same thing. So that's how that came about. Coincidentally, yeah.
You look a bit happy about that.
We can watch whatever we want to watch on TV. I think on Saturday just gone, we went to Pinjarra to have a look around what we do need, what we don't need. So we did that. We did a little bit of shopping. We went to Target. We went to do whatever.
How did you get there?
We went to buy a support worker's car. We had fun. After that, we went out for lunch. There was a dome there.
That sounds like a great day out.
It is.
So you have a support worker staying here overnight?
Yes.
And in the daytime, you just manage yourself?
Yes.
Yeah, so you make your own meals.
Yes, I do.
How does that feel for you that, Carolyn, that Krystyna can be here and be supported and independent?
That's wonderful. Well, it's nice that Krystyna's got all this support. It's what she's always wanted. I've wanted for her.
Has it been difficult to get to this point now?
Very difficult.
That you
We
had to-
wanted this about 15 years ago. Nobody would come to the party. Nobody who we saw or asked. Of course, yeah, look what we went through to get to this point.
So what changed? Why was it easier this time to get in contact with Chorus? Is that what happened?
No,
or-
it came to us. Angela came to us. This is the best thing that's ever happened for Krystyna. I'm very happy for her. She sounds very happy, loves it here. Now I've just got to make the same adjustment for myself. Yes. So I know Krystyna's in a good place. Peace of mind, she's got the support that she truly needs.
Krystyna got her plan through NDIS and had support coordination funded. And as Krystyna was already a client of Chorus and we offered support coordination, then I started meeting with Krystyna August last year. And one of her goals was to move out. So, yeah, we did a review and we got all the paperwork together and applied, and it was approved, and found the house and moved you over. Sounds simple, but it wasn't that simple.
It was
It
hard,
was a bit of hard work, yeah, but
but I got here eventually.
we got here eventually, yeah.
Did you help? Did you help Angela get in here? Did you help with all the paperwork? Or did
For
she do that
being
for you?
cheeky, yes.
Were you cheeky, right? Tell me about, so you got a flatmate here as well,
Yes,
and she's your friend.
yes.
That's pretty handy.
Yes, it is. Very handy. And we gave each other nicknames already.
You going to tell us what they are?
We called each other Quack Quack, so that's our nicknames from now on. I know.
Were you both quack quack? Or?
Yes,
That could be confusing.
it is at the moment.
Maybe you could be quack quack 1 and quack quack 2.
That's what we agreed on. So I'm Quack Quack 1 and just Quack Quack 2. So if it just wants, she's just a call. Quack Quack, yes. Which one do you want, Quack Quack? Oh, you in the kitchen, okay.
So who does the cooking?
Tonight is Jess's turn. She's cooking tonight.
So you take it in turns?
Yes, to make it more easier.
You said you made a cheesecake last night.
Yes. Tastes nice. Thanks to my mum, she helped me to do it.
Ah,
So I know how to
quack
do
quack
it now.
3.
More like mother hen.
Now I might have to make homemade Rocky Road.
I love Rocky Road. How come you haven't got any today?
It's in the
Oh, it is?
fridge. Because it's like a group of us. We went to the chocolate factory. We went to the cheese and wine factory. And after that, I was like, I had a hangover. My head was sore.
From the cheese factory or the wine factory?
Both.
So how often do you go out? Do you go on lots of outings, do you?
Every Tuesday and Thursdays I go out.
Is that just you and your quack quack too, or is that
No, it's just me and Tomorrow and I are going to the Perth Zoo. We're going to spend all day there. We're going to take photos of myself and with animals, and same with tomorrow because we want to do scrapbooking.
So before you came here, what was different?
Different is like I want to move forward, be a good friend to Jess and a housemate. Don't go backwards anymore.
So Krystyna's wanted to be social. Krystyna's very social, aren't you, Krystyna?
Yes, I am.
She loves to be around friends, and she wants to live independently. So this was, I think, ticked all the boxes that you wanted.
Yes, it feels like I'm going home to home. Oh well, I'm in a good place. I'm in a safe place.
You are.
Yeah. Must be comfort for you too.
Oh, my oath it is. Yes.
Yeah. Got your own kind of issues to deal with as well, so it's a lot to carry that as well, isn't it?
Well, for me it's nice to know that she's in a safe environment with all the support around her. I'm not going to have to worry so much now.
And where does Krystyna get her cooking skills from? Does she get that from you?
Yes. A lot of her cooking, craft, independence I've taught her since she was knee high.
So you've been preparing her for this?
Yes, I have.
Cook cheesecakes on Rocky Road and...
Before I moved here, my mum was helping me out to do a couple of recipes in a folder, so I got them here.
So what are your favourite ones?
The favourite ones is at the moment is the beef stroganoff, my favourite one.
Stroganoff?
That's lovely that you can make your mum's food here, isn't it? Yes. Does she come and help you, or you can just do it yourself?
I can do it all by myself now. I can walk out of the store, go to IGA, and walk back here again.
Wonderful.
And you get to share your cooking with your housemate.
Yes.
That's always the best part about cooking.
Definitely. So you sit down and eat together. And what about the garden? Who does your garden?
We've got two more men came over on Friday morning. They did it front and back to make it look nice and neat. I'm growing strawberries, tomatoes, and herbs and stuff like that, so I'm trying to grow it.
What about Quack Quack? Does Quack Quack help too? Or?
She's like, you told them.
Sorry, secrets out, Quack Quack too.
Sorry, Quack Quack 2.
3.
Oh, are you?
There's like 5 of us now or something.
Wow.
So I'm Quack Quack 1, Quack Quack 2, Quack Quack 3 at the moment.
I feel like it's a bit of a club going on down here. And,
It is at the moment.
Oh, Sammy.
Oh yeah, and that's Sammy over there as well. Hello, Sammy.
What's that little doggy? Is it?
Seal.
Seal. Not a real seal, up to...
So yes, and I've got...
That's a real seal.
Who?
Oh, sorry, it's a real seal, yeah.
Yes.
Sorry. A real seal that quacks.
Yes, so yes, I'm having more fun here.
I can see that, and you get lots of outings, you're growing your veggies,
Yes.
you're cooking, having a bit of fun.
Yes.
I think just a little bit of fun, or maybe a whole lot of fun.
Yes.
And what about your art? When are you going to start doing that?
I'm doing 2 diamond paintings at the moment.
Are you going to put it up on the wall in your lovely place?
Yes. I will be trying finishing blankets off. I'm doing scarves.
What are you doing to the blankets? You're putting the stitching on them, or?
I'm actually crocheting them at the
Really?
moment. I can crochet, I can knit.
You do a lot of you're very handy, aren't you? I feel like independent living's good for you because you are really independent, aren't you?
Yes, and I can make beanies as well. So yes.
And your mum's taught you all that?
Yes.
She's a great mum.
My mum is.
Yeah. She's given you some great skills.
Yes.
Yeah, and you're like you say, you're moving forward with those skills now, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
So, Lou, really a heartwarming story, in a way of a system that while lots of people critical of the way the NDIS has landed, has actually created a whole lot of options that might not have been there, coupled with some great people such as Angela and, of course, Krystyna herself taking control of her life. It is a story of success, really, isn't it? What stuck out for you?
I like the word success because that's very positive, and it's about what we can achieve in our lives, and the chorus purpose is enabling people to live the life they choose. And I guess my experience of knowing people that have tried to go through this system in years gone by is that you have to be almost destitute to need the support, or the system seem to just drive you to be almost falling over before present that, which is equally unhealthy. Yeah. So I love the fact that the support is there for people to live their best lives, which is what most of us, or all of us, really want to do.
And interesting that it's obviously Krystyna, as the star of our story today, has achieved that, but also her mum Caroline has obviously had to find different ways of working things out so that she can live the life that she chooses as well.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that one of the things you want as a parent is for your kids to make their own way in the world, and having accommodation, a home that meets their needs is definitely part of that.
And a system that rewards or incentivises, I guess, people thinking about their own goals and achieving them rather than incentivising deficit-type thinking is a step forward. And a system like the NDIS, which is challenging to work in, it does have the really important redeeming feature of being flexible and being about the person themselves.
Yeah, and the benefits of things like having the vegetable garden, you're out in nature, it's healthy, you're learning something, you're cooking with the food that you make. I mean, that's just awesome.
And I think also what's happened in this story is Krystyna's living with some positive adult relationships, which again, systems in years gone by and the culture around people living with disability has often been to sort of infantilise things and people, but there's expectations. She's paying rent, she's got a landlord, she's got a housemate, and that's all. That's the sort of thing that many of us wouldn't even think about, but actually that's an essential success factor for people in living a good life.
Well, I worked in disability services in Sydney in the early 2000s, and in what I guess they call group homes, and so they would have maybe 4 people living together, and there was one house that was a beautiful match, and they were all younger women with cerebral palsy, and it was like a party house, so that was great. But they were very lucky to be kind of matched with each other, because the government funding at the time was the only reason you would not put people together is if they were incompatible. So if someone was really going to clash. So you didn't really have the best mix of people. It wasn't like, people you'd want to live with. I think these 2 girls having the chance to live together is amazing.
And I think one of the things people who've been listening to Chorus Voices for a while will have picked up on the Chorus Fresh approach, and we talk a lot about evolving our organisation to bring this fresh approach to community service, to move away from sort of transactionalised, service-focused ways of working and moving into the space of people and relationships and the network that we see that people have around them, and sometimes possibly not even particularly visible to them. And again, what I like about this story is that Krystyna has got a network, and there are many, many people and resources and supports and connections available to her, including the housemate and her mum and of course Ange and then other providers and other support workers from Chorus and from elsewhere who are in the mix. And understanding that network and all of those relationships is actually what the Fresh approach is all about. It's not about getting in and out and doing a service. It's about understanding the lives people live and the role various different people can play in. So look, it's just a great story from the world of Chorus, and you really want to acknowledge the great work that Ange did, but of course ultimately that Krystyna's done.
Absolutely, and of course Judith out on the roving mic capturing these stories.
Absolutely, it's been great to hear some more from around the place. It's been Chorus Voices for this episode. I hope the listeners have enjoyed it as much as we've enjoyed talking about it.
Thanks, Dan.
Thanks for listening to Chorus Voices, the podcast brought to you by Chorus. If you like our show and wanted to know more, check out our website at chorus.org.au. And please leave a review. We'd love to hear your feedback, and it helps others find us and enjoy the podcast as well. Join us next time for more inspiring stories and news from our community. Chorus, a fresh approach to community service.